Hey, Shalom Akim. All right. This is another episode of GMS Born Again / GMS Fiery Law. All right. Something we're trying to get into into the law. Certain laws that brothers might overlook. Because in the scriptures it's over 600 laws. Right. Most of them is basically to the point. Straight up or what have you. But then certain laws got certain words in it that we're gonna try to delve more into. All right, so you can get a fuller understanding. Basically, we're gonna examine the law. All right. So when this first video started off with, I'm gonna get into the law and how to treat a Hebrew servant. Okay, because back in the ancient world when we had servants, you might have had some servants that were of your brethren. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, we ain't gonna have to worry about that. It's not gonna be a Hebrew servant under another Hebrew. All right, or should I say Israelite? All right. So I'm gonna go into Exodus the 21st chapter. It says Exodus 21:1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. So you had a Hebrew servant, he would work for you for 6 years. And in the 7th year, all right, you would let him go free for nothing. Okay? And it says, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. All right, so if you bought him and he didn't have anything with him, and he belongs to anything with him, he'd go out on his own. No, if he didn't have any children, a wife or what have you, it goes more into it. It says, if he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. So if he was married, he'll leave with his wife. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. Why? Because they were born under the while he was in servitude or under his master. So they would belong to his master, and he would have to go out by himself. All right, and leave his wife and children behind. Verse 5, it says, and if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. All right, because that's basically a hard thing, man. You know what I'm saying? To leave your wife and your children, and to go out on your own. You had certain masters that basically treated you well, like family. All right, because a Hebrew servant, let's first of all understand, is not meant to be treated as like a slave. All right, when you do hard bondage to him, because it goes into that. Basically, a Hebrew servant would be something like, if you watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you have like Jeffrey, who was a butler. It's something to that effect. All right. Verse 6, it says, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door and unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So that's significant for him being a servant unto his master for life, for a life. It's like an oath. All right. Also, I wanted to show brothers how the Lord deals with men in comparison to women. All right, for anybody who thinks that men and women are equal, because brothers in the truth, we know that there's no such thing as that. All right, and we're going to show you more how much respect that the Lord has for men, even dealing with Hebrew servant men compared to Hebrew servant women. All right, this is verse 7. It says, and if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, meaning already a woman, she's already under the authority of somebody. Okay, whether it be her father or whether her father sells her off to be a servant to another man, which is of the nation of Israel. All right, she shall not go out as the men servants do. Meaning what? She can't go out on her own after she serves her master for 6 years. All right, and in the 7th year you just let her go. It don't work like that. All right. It says, if she please not her master, who has betrothed her to himself, okay, then shall he let her be redeemed. All right. So if she pleased not her master, who has betrothed her to himself, took him unto herself, all right, then shall he let her be redeemed. Okay, meaning what? He can betroth basically means a promise of like an engagement, but he never popped her or anything like that. All right. Then she can be redeemed. All right, meaning what? Redeemed. She can be redeemed. Sold back to maybe to her father, or sold to another Jake. All right, and it goes into that to someone of a strange nation. You can't sell a Hebrew woman to a Hebrew woman servant. To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he has dealt deceitfully with her. All right, because basically when you betroth a woman, you basically supposed to act up upon that, man. All right. Verse 9, it says, and if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. All right. So basically, he would have to deal with her like it was on one of his daughters, a daughter-in-law. All right. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three unto her, then shall she go out free without money. So if he doesn't perform his duty of marriage unto this Hebrew servant, then she can go away free without money. All right. And also wanted to, I'm gonna jump to the 26th verse, because it tells you how, basically how you supposed to deal with Hebrew servants. Okay, how you basically not supposed to be hard on them, man. All right. But these incidents did happen. That's why it's in the law. You had not every Hebrew master was treated their servants commonly, man. So because you got to remember, they are bought with money, so they're pretty much your property. Verse 26, same chapter, Exodus 21, verse 26, it says, and if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. So that includes both male or female. And it says, and if he smite out his master's, and if he smite out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. So basically, if you bust your servant eye up, bust his tooth up or whatever, you're supposed to let him go free. All right. And I'm gonna go to Leviticus, the 25th chapter, real quick. All right. This is Leviticus 25, chapter 39. It says, because it basically tells you that you're supposed to deal pretty much fair with your servants. It says, verse 39, it says, and if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, meaning basically like a slave, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. As basically, you can't sell them into slavery. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God. Okay? And there's another scripture that I want to get into, Leviticus, the 19th chapter, all right, in the 20th verse. Okay? Because to show you that women and men are not the same. The Lord doesn't have the same type of respect for women that he has as what he has for men. All right? It says Leviticus chapter 19 verse 20. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death because she was not free. So basically, I'm going to read it again. It says, and whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, that's talking about anybody. If any Israelite man lay down with a woman who's a bondmaid, who's in servitude under a man, all right, and that woman's betrothed, basically that's actually like committing adultery, all right. And you know the consequence of committing adultery is death. But this is what the Lord said: and whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, it says she shall be scourged. Scourged. Now, when you look into that word scourged, all right, it's not talking about like when you scourge a person when you whip them, all right, or when you lash them on the back, all right. That word scourged is a Hebrew word. I got it written down. Bakorath, okay, which means basically that situation has to be examined, all right, or looked into to see what the consequence is going to be behind it, all right. Because that woman, she could have been raped or what have you. She could have been down with it, with the whole situation, but knowing she was betrothed to somebody, so basically that's something you look into, and then there's supposed to be a punishment behind it, all right, or a consequence behind it. Because the word for actually to scourge someone in the Hebrew, all right, the word for that is I got it written down, is shawat, which basically means to whip or to lash someone, all right. So in this particular instance, it's talking about to examine the situation and see what the outcome or the cause is going to be. So it says they shall not be put to death because she was not a free woman. All right, she was not free. That's why she's not to be put to death. Now, if she was free, that's a different story. And she was betrothed to a man and she committed adultery with somebody else, all right, then of course the adulterer would be put to death and she would be put to death, all right. And it says, and he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, and unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord for his sin, which it was a sin to do that, which he has done, and the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him. All right. So if a man raped a Hebrew servant woman that was betrothed to somebody else, all right, the consequence on that is not death for that man. All right. It's a trespass offering, and he's supposed to be forgiven because that woman was under bondage. Okay. So yeah. So with that, that's basically the laws on how you treat a Hebrew servant, man. All right. So to all you brothers out there, I want to say shalom.